Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake, it's me, and this is a special video. I had someone reach out to me and ask me some questions about my book. A couple of years ago, I had made some videos about like trying to figure out how to publish a book on being on SSDI and some of the monetary restrictions that I was on and well, still am on, and just basically how I did it. And I consistently plug my book all the time, and just in case you haven't seen my book or heard the story, let me just go ahead and share that with you. So this is the very first copy of my book that I ever got. You'll see right here that it says not for resale, but it's got a copy of my ISBN number on there, but actually that's not even my real ISBN number. That is the ISBN number that they assigned for my author copy. But you can see she's a thick girl. But this is not going to be a full how-to tutorial or whatever. This is 100% just kind of skimming the surface on what I did. So the very first thing that I did when writing Carpe Diem Scroto 365 Daily Affirmations was I turned every single one of these pages was at one time a Facebook post. And I just wanted to put some positivity out into the world. There was a lot of shit going on at the time, and I was at a good place with my mental health. I was just finishing up a bunch of mental health courses and had just got several certificates of completion and was just like on this kick. So every day I wrote this like little daily affirmation that the second I woke up, I started writing, and I put it on my phone to begin with. I still actually have a note file thing on my phone that has all of my daily affirmations and stuff in it that I wrote. Sometimes those were written as soon as I woke up. Sometimes they were written while standing in line waiting for the YMCA to open. But my goal was to just write one positive thing a day, and it was kind of like a love letter to myself, because I had been struggling with like depression and suicide and all kinds of other stuff during that time period also. So about, I would say 30 days in of me posting this daily, my friends and family and just random people on Facebook were like, dude, you should turn this into a book. I was like, yeah, a book, whatever, blah, blah. So I was like, well, you know what? It wouldn't be hard to do because I'm already writing these daily. I have them saved in a note file on my phone, and it's just taking that text and putting it into a Word document and going from there. So that was how the concept of the book came about. It was through other people pushing me to do so, and knowing that I had wanted to write a book, but not specifically this book that I came up with. And I learned so much. I was so fucking naive when it came to the idea of publishing a book that it it's actually kind of scary how everyone has their hand out when you are putting together a book. It's so my first attempt of putting the book out, like after let me back that up. So I started writing it, like I would do it on my phone, come home, transfer that over to my Word document, and from failed writing attempts in the past, I learned at a very, like, after a lot of tears, to save everything every freaking where. I would send a copy of the manuscript to myself daily. I had five different thumb drives, external hard drives, floppy disks, like honestly, hand to God, floppy freaking disks. Went out and got a USB floppy drive, and then even got myself a iOmega zip drive. Remember these bad bitches? Yeah, got one of these and just saved it everywhere. Uh, I started typing on Google Docs just because that's cloud and Google's not going anywhere anytime soon, you know. And so as I would type it on Google Docs, I would also copy all of that and put it into a Word document. And so I was consistently backing that up, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I watched tons and tons and tons and tons and fucking tons of YouTube videos on how to properly format it, how to just do all these little things that you don't even think about, and running into paywalls. And I'm one of those type of people that everything that I do is either going to be free or extremely budget friendly. My out of pocket cost for my book was less than $700, I think. And you're probably thinking, how the hell did you do that? Like, well, I'll get to that in a few minutes. But once I started having the meat and potatoes of what my book was going to be, I then started thinking, okay, well, I want this to be more than just daily affirmations, because there's 1,012,000,000 daily affirmation books out there on the market. So how is my book going to be different than that? And I was like, add a mental health component to it. So on one page, you have your daily affirmation, and on the other page, you have your mental health prompt. So we'll just open up to a random page here. This is page 368. And like I said, this is a thick girl. Boy, girl, whatever. It's a freaking object. It doesn't have a gender, but how many freaking pages is it? I think it's like 800. And sorry, this is not getting edited out because, well, I just don't have the time or the focus to edit it out. But it is 773 pages. So page 368 was what we were on. Well, we don't have to do page 368, but let's see. We're going to go to 368. There we are. So page 368, day 166. So here is your daily affirmation, and here is your mental health prompt with a Dear Diary section. So day 166 says, good morning. Today, discover the power of resilience. Life may test you, but you have the inner strength to overcome any obstacle. Cultivate resilience by embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, finding support, and staying committed to your dreams. Resilience allows you to bounce back stronger and wiser. Embrace the unwavering power of resilience. Every time you thought that you couldn't make it and you held on and did, that's resilience. Connect to the raw primal energy and learn to wield it daily to show the world just how it's done. Now go grab your day by the balls and fuck it up. So, your writing prompt is think about a time when you were not heard. How did you deal with that? And what steps did you take to be heard? And then there's a little notebook section in here. And I tell my readers to buy yourself a separate notebook if you don't want to write in directly into your book. And then a Dear Diary section. So that's how I formatted my book. And using a lot of my own mental health education and my own general like knowledge of my own self and my own strive, like that's what I did. Second thing I did was design the cover. So this is just a little blurb about me that says Carpe Diem Scroto, a daily inspirational guidebook. Are you struggling to navigate through life while dealing with depression? Do you find it challenging to stay motivated and positive on a daily basis? In Carpe Diem Scroto, author Michael Peterson offers a unique perspective on overcoming the hurdles of depression and finding hope and strength in the face of adversity. Drawing from personal experience, Michael shares daily inspirational quotes, thought-provoking writing prompts, and interactive journaling sections designed to help you explore your emotions and cultivate a positive mindset. Each day presents a new opportunity to seize the moment and embrace life's challenges with courage and resilience. It's with its focus on self-help and mental health, Carpe Diem Scroto serves as a companion for anyone who is, and I don't remember everything that I wrote, but like this line goes through there. So basically, just a little blurb about it, and then my ISBN, and then a picture that I took and photoshopped. This entire cover was done in Photoshop. And there's templates out there on what to, like, how to make your book or whatever. You know, there's different sizes. Like this isn't a standard pocketbook size, which I think is a A5 or A6. I don't remember what the name of this size is. But I started playing around with the different ideas of the colors. I took color theory when I was in college and learning how to do desktop publishing and Photoshop and stuff like that. And I wanted it to be cool, calm, inviting. The font was another font that I chose to draw people in and like kind of disarm it, like make it kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And because the tagline is grab your day by the balls and fuck it up, I wanted something to show like that without it being crude, like show that idea of holding these balls in your hand. Also, these are Benoit balls, which are used for meditative purposes or just to kind of like relax you. So, I watched a whole video on how to design your book cover, and I fired up Adobe Photoshop. Now, you may or may not have Photoshop already. Adobe Photoshop CS2 is free, but there are tons of other programs out there that you could utilize. Canva is a really good, like a damn good program, honestly, that has a lot of free elements. You don't even have to buy the membership to unlock all of the stuff. If you do, like, you do get a lot more, but Canva as a whole is just amazing. I use Canva free for everything. If you do not have Microsoft Office, you have Office alternatives like Google Docs, which is free. You get yourself a Gmail account, you automatically get Google Docs, Google Drive, like the whole Google suite. That is also something that I would recommend you doing is establish an author email and establish an email for your book. So get your design down, figure out how you're going to do it, and once you have your cover design put together, things really start to kind of flow from there. There's a lot of back end work. So I had originally said I was really naive in thinking it was easy to publish a book, and I wanted to go more traditional routes. And I actually shopped the book around to several publishers. All of them at the time were looking for fiction and wanted like love stories or kind of biographical information. They weren't really looking for the style of book that I was going with. I did find several publishers that wanted to work with me, but they were going to charge me like a minimum of $5,000. One of them was like $5,000 to just do the publishing, and that was like very little PR work and the whole 9 yards, and that wasn't even covering a literary agent and all that other stuff. So with that, I was just like, absolutely not. I'm going to figure out how to do this myself. There's hundreds of thousands of other people out there that do self-publishing. It cannot be that just money, 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 money. So one of the biggest expenses for me when publishing the book was buying my ISBN number. There's only one place that you can purchase your ISBN number. Now, there's a caveat to that. You do not technically need an ISBN number. Amazon and Barnes and Noble and some of the other like direct to print publishing houses give you an ISBN number, but it's only usable within their marketplace. Having your own ISBN number means that you can then take it to a bookstore anywhere and sell it out of the bookstore. Having an Amazon ISBN number or an ASIN, you can only sell it within an Amazon. And the same thing with Barnes and Noble. If you get one of their codes, you can only sell it on Barnes and Noble or through Nook. And Barnes and Noble publishing is actually a little bit cheaper than going through Amazon publishing, KDP. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Printing, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go directly to Kindle. You have to create an entire format just for Kindles, and that is 16 and a half bitches to put together. Same thing with Barnes & Noble Press. It doesn't automatically go to Kindle. You have to make a whole format for ebook and all that other stuff. That brings me back to the ISBN number. So each iteration of your book requires you to have a different ISBN number. So if you write a book and you make it a soft cover, then that is one ISBN number. If you decide to make it a hardcover, that's a whole nother ISBN number, and you cannot use the same one. And then if you decide that you want to have an ebook, that's a whole other ISBN number. And if you change the color of the book from blue to red, that's a whole nother ISBN number. And so there's all these little things that like really add up. So the company that you buy your ISBN number from is called Bowker, Bowker. And you can buy one number, or let's see, it was like 1, 5, 10, or 100. And the original set that I was going to go for was the 10 ISBN numbers. I think it was going to be like $400. And I was really stressing the fuck out about that because I also have other books and other manuscripts that I'm working on. And I was like, well, why not just get this set of ISBN numbers, which never expire, and you assign the information to those numbers, which again is a whole nother issue. So when you finally get your ISBN number, you have to be meticulous in entering your information because they will not undo whatever information you put in there. Like if you fuck it up, you have fucked it up, and that just throw that whole ISBN number away because there's no way to rectify that. So I ended up buying just one ISBN number, and it was like $195, $97, something like that. So I did a lot of crowdfunding, and I held several in-person like author speaks type situations where I solicited the public for money. And I live in a really small community with the 4 towns that are kind of make up a whole. There's probably about 100,000 people total, maybe less than that. But the community, even though there's that many people, is like really tight knit. There's 0 degrees of separation, and so once the word got out about what I was doing, I had pretty good turnouts. My very first turnout had 30 people who showed up. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if just each one of those 30 people gave you $5, that's $5 more than what you had. And I talked about it to every single person. I was my own best salesperson. Like, I would talk to people just like, hey, this is my book. This is what I'm doing, blah, blah, huda, huda. I even made up a dossier that gave you a breakdown of all of the information, had donation tiers, had, if you donated $50, you got a copy of the book and recognition on social media and the website and everything else. If you donated $75, you got a signed copy of the book recognition, blah blah. I just created this whole tier list, and I made sure that I made mention of all of the people who really helped and inspired me during this time period. Like, there's a whole thank you section in here that like, it takes up 3 pages, I think. Yeah. So 3 pages of acknowledgments. And I did use AI to generate some of the artwork on the inside. So every so often there will be a little picture, and I'm trying to find a. So this is not actually AI. This was hand drawn, and that was by one of the people who had supported my had supported the book, and I gave them a shout out or whatever. But I did put a little blurb in here that said that if it was AI generated art, that there would be this like little robot, and it says, "You will see on some images throughout the book this little robot. This means that I used AI to create that image through prompts given to Copilot or ChatGPT. To those who have been with me, and to those, and it just continues on with like my heartfelt thank you or whatever. But that was one of the tiers, was for me to like, it was a tier, but it was also one of those like, I want to acknowledge the people who really supported me during this time period. But that was just something that I did to kind of raise funds. And I had a couple of businesses that like promoted it and gave me just gave me a couple of dollars. Um, so all of that aside, and I'm sorry, this is a lot longer than I expected it to be. Hopefully you are still watching along, but yeah, you are going to be your own bestseller. And so when I was hosting these get-togethers, um, it was nothing big and fancy. The very first one that I had was at a local park, and I made sure to do it make like during like good weather. And then I had a variety of drinks available. I had coffee, tea, water, um, and just little finger sandwiches and like just little nibbles, nothing big. Um, and my PR person was fucking amazing. I just so happened to be blessed to have a legitimate PR person as a best friend. And I, in a previous life, did my own PR, so I knew how to do it. But my PR person is really well connected, especially within the community. And so I had them help me, and that was just really amazing. So we would get together and have coffee. So once a week, we would get together, talk about that week's strategy and the plans. And I utilized the local library a lot. Most libraries allow you to have free printing. And so my local library allows each library member to print 30 pages for free a week per library card. So my friends and we went and we got several library cards, and they all gave me their numbers, and I did a lot of printing at the library. It was an exploit. Like, I exploited this little loophole, but that's how I printed out a lot of my promotional materials and my dossier and my just a bunch of like flyers and other stuff that I needed printed up, and my donor packet and stuff like that. That's what I did. The other thing I did is I went on Reddit. Reddit is an amazing untapped resource in the universe. Like, they have so much information and it is just fan fucking tastic. Stay away from the Facebook writing groups. They are trash. They are fucking horrible. They give out horrible, horrible advice, even if it's like first time writer groups or like writers helping writers, or fuck Facebook. Stay away from Facebook. TikTok, nah, I didn't. Reddit, self-publish. It was like Reddit slash r slash self-publishing, I think is what it is, was gold. Absolute gold. They helped me so goddamn much because I was asking questions about, like, Social Security and how to go about like publishing and how to do this and how to do that. And so Reddit became my best friend, and I got a lot of information off of Reddit. Then I also started looking for podcasters and YouTubers and content creators who were looking to interview people. And I went on 2 different radio shows. I was on 5 different podcasts, and actually, yeah, I was on 5 different podcasts, several different radio shows, and even got like a quick segment on the local news, like, the little local TV news that is like poorly developed or whatever, and even did a letter to the editor type situation, announcing my book and putting advertisements in there. I advertised on Next Door Neighbor. If you live in the United States, Next Door Neighbor is in my own personal opinion, a horrible senior citizen version of Facebook, where everyone just gets on there and bitches about the most asinine things. But great way to reach people who don't do Facebook, who don't do Instagram or whatever else. I also advertised on Craigslist, and so everywhere you can think of to advertise. Make some business cards. You could do Vistaprint, you could do Canva, you could even buy the inkjet like business cards that you unfold and do yourself. I did that. I have business cards for other stuff, but I did the author business card and like just little business cards about my book. So yeah, I did all of that. When it came time to get it properly formatted, and to have like kind of author stuff done to it. I know that's not the right word. I can't think of the word right now, but and I'm so sorry that we are now a half an hour into this video. But anyways, I went to gig websites, and the website that I went to was Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. And I put on there looking for somebody to format my book for traditional publishing and KDP, KD Publishing, which is Amazon's publishing. And instantly had a whole list of people that showed up and was like, I can do it for X number of dollars. I could do it for this. I could do it for that. This is where it got really sticky, and I actually ended up getting my money back. I paid for it with PayPal, and I decided that I was going to work with somebody from overseas. And this is my own personal experience, and I have done a lot of work on Fiverr and with Fiverr and through Fiverr in the past, and have never had any experience like this one. But I decided that I was going to work with this person from Nigeria or Kenya. I can't remember which one. I think it was Nigeria. And so instantly we have a time, like there's a time difference, but he said that he would do everything that I needed for $130 US dollars. I was like, are you sure? And he said, yes. So, number one, document everything when you start working with somebody. So I sent them a contract. I sent them a non-disclosure agreement that was kind of a universal one. And I even kind of looked into Kenyan law and saw how to go about wording it so that it would like protect me there, and a few other steps. Rocket Lawyer was a really amazing resource. I only used their free services, so I'm sure that if you like actually paid for the services, it would be a lot better. But anyways, I just created these NDA contracts and non copyright contracts, reader agreement contracts, beta reader contracts, and I sent it to him. And I was like, look, I need to have this done. This was April. I said, I need to have this done by August at the very latest, because I still wanted to go through and reread it and send it out to the beta readers and make sure that they approved of it, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, and have time to change it for my publication date of November 8th. Was it 8th or 18th? My publication date was supposed to be November 1st. I'm sorry. I bumped my publication date to November 18th. And the original date of publication was supposed to be March 10th, and that ended up not happening. So, anyways, that's not relevant. The person, give me time. I will have this done. I promise I will have this done. I promise I will have this done. Consistent checking in with that person, taking screenshots, saving that to my hard drive, doing everything I could to keep a paper trail of what was going on. October 27th, I was like, where the fuck is my book? Well, I still need some more time. I'm like, dude, you've been working on my book since April. You have exhausted the time limit that you have available to you. And so the other thing that they were doing was they were sending me a KDP file, and when I was loading it, it wasn't working. It did not work. And I kept telling them and sending them screenshots that this is a bullshit file. You are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, anyways, after a big long fight with this person and setting me way the fuck back, I went ahead and I fired them. was able to open up a claim and got all of my money back. And I found another person who did the editing for me for free. I ended up giving them $75 just for doing so. And I got the book off to publish November 18th. My release date was supposed to be my release date was supposed to be November 18th. So I had to quickly scramble and tell everyone, hey, listen, this is the hiccup I have. So I can't do the November 18th. Here's when I will have it done for you. And I ended up having my last like little hurrah December 3rd. And December 8th is when I got my shipment of books in from Amazon. And I hand delivered them to the people who had purchased them and spent time with them at their home and signed each one to the people and just expressed gratitude and thanks and everything else. But, even though we are almost an hour into this video, and again, thank you so much if you've watched this far into it, there's just so much more that goes into this, but this is literally just scratching the surface. Like it's insane. I have the royalties on my book set so extremely low that I end up only getting like maybe 30 cents a book. I did that because I didn't write the book to make money. And there was no way that I found that I could afford to put the book so that I can make money off of it. The only way that I found that you could do that was to create an LLC for the book and have all the profits go into like a trust and then make money off that trust. And even then, that was kind of sketchy on like how that was going to affect SSI SSD or SSDI or whatever. So I just said, fuck it. You know what? I'm only going to charge the absolute bare minimum. So Amazon forces me to pay or to charge $23.99. Each book is $14.99 author price. So if I wanted to buy an entire box of my own books, I would have to pay $14.99 for those books. I don't know if that's because of how many pages it is or what. I don't remember like that whole formula. But to sell the books, it's $23.99, and out of that $23.99, I get a 35-cent profit. I also have it open to the entire world. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're in Argentina or Antarctica, if Amazon ships there, you can pick it up from there. But 35 cents a book, and since its launch and the initial pre-books that were sold, to date, I have sold about 150 books, and have just made back what I put out originally for the books. So yeah, sorry that this was such a long video, but that is all of the information that I can give in one video, and I probably should have broken this up into multiple videos, but I just don't have that time right now, and I actually have to go. But hopefully this helps those of you who are looking to write a book or just answers some questions from somebody who has gone through it. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and catch me on the Saturday video, and I will talk to you then. Bye, everyone. Boop.